Day to everybody. I am Sacred and thank you for joining me in Hearts of Iron 4 as in our new Let's Play in Hearts of Iron 4 as the Russian Empire. Well, still at least the Russian Empire. We might get a different country soon. So thank you a lot for joining me once more, and let's continue our, well, I'd say, rearmament of the mighty Russian Empire. Well, if we look to the historical aspect, the Russian Empire was the biggest country in the world, with the, well, in the World War One, with the highest population. If we take China out, well, China hasn't fought really, so we shouldn't count them in. So we are on the 4th of January 1912. And we are playing on regular, not on historical AI focuses, but I have the feeling that historical AI focuses are still, well, turned on, kind of. Therefore, that's it. Well, let's get straight into the game. And, well, I mean, we are playing on the regular, and if the AI doesn't perform that bad, we should have a really hard fight against the Germans and Austrians, because they are superior in terms of industry to us. Really superior in terms of their industry to us. So I don't know from which point on I should start constructing military factories. I think I will go for 70 civilian factories, and from 70 onwards I will start constructing military ones. But I am not certain of that, if I might do that or not. That's the question. Now let's build there as well, one there as well. Alright, then the Russian Empire. Fine then. The engineering drawing we got, that's great. Question is your tanks and armor. Well, I'm not really building any tanks. I can't afford to build them. Let's go for the entrenching battalions. It's always, well, necessary to have a doctrine. So like I said, we will need to make 3 different fronts. I will start to organize the fronts in around in the beginning of 1914, because we have, well, lots of time left, and we just bypassed and completed 2 national focuses. Well, the Mongolian Protectorate. If we do the Mongolian Protectorate, Mongolia becomes a part of the Russian Empire, and we become an owner and controller of Tannu Tuva, which I will do. I think Tannu Tuva is that territory in the Republic of China, and Mongolia is that. Yeah, that's about that. Yeah. And we don't need any troops in the Far East. I think we won't, yeah. What are the Japanese doing? Fortress Japan? They're preparing for war. Well, now it's yet to see if they are going to join the Entente or join the Central Powers. That's the question now. I hope they will join the Entente, but I will leave the Entente, I think, probably. Because the bad thing is, if I stay in the Entente and then, like, if we bring Germany to capitulation, yeah, then the Treaty of Versailles will annex, and I cannot annex any lands that I wish to. Yeah, I think I won't be even, I'm not sure, but I will leave the Entente. Yeah, for now I'm still in it, but at one point I will leave it for certain. So for what should we go for? Engineering, tanks and armor variants, breakthrough, communication system. Yeah, that's all in 1914, so we don't have to look onto that again. Austin opens 8-7 years. Let's go, yeah. Well, I'm not really having a heavy artillery. It's that large armored cruiser. I can't do anything here. Not air. Well, let's do the air doctrine. No harm in doing it. We can modify our government. Alright then, fine. For what should we go? Naval aircraft quartermaster general. I'll let this path free, open. Military high command, entrenchment, cavalry ships. I don't know actually. Let's go for here. I have no idea, to be honest. Grand Duke William IV dies. Grand Duke William IV of Luxembourg, the second independent ruler of the country and its first Catholic monarch, has died today after 5 years of regency due to poor health and old age. Marie Adelaide has ascended the throne and is expected to carry on his legacy. The Balkan League, in a surprising move, several Balkan countries, including rival states Serbia and Bulgaria, have come together to form the Balkan League, a military alliance stated to have been built up against Austria-Hungary. Though the alliance target is the Habsburgs, it seems far more likely that the state that divides these 4 nations would be their target. The league is formed, if we check. Yeah, it is the Balkan League. Well, I can. Well, I got the idea from one of my subscribers that I can actually go to war with the Ottomans, but I need world tension to be at 50%. Otherwise, I cannot declare war to the Ottomans. Yeah, I will try to take the Ottomans out before they join the the Central Powers. But the problem here is that we let the Ottomans, that the world tension has to be above 50%. So, well, we have to wait and see how things develop then. Communication system fine. 1910. Italy is going, I don't know, for Italian highways. It's not solid if they are doing the secret deal with France or with Sporting Germany. That's the question. No, let's yet to see. But the Balkan War should break out quite soon, if I'm not that mistaken. We have 63 civilian factories. Yeah, I'll go for 70. But from 70, if I have 70, I will start building lots of military ones. So I have 4 more. I need to build 3 more, then 3 more. Where should I build them? Let's build 1 there, 1 here, and 1 more here in Chechnya, Grozny. Mongolia is a protectorate now, let's check. We annexed Tuva, that's great, and Mongolia, yeah, they are a member of the Entente, they are a puppet of us. A puppet of the Russian Empire. That's great. Well, next, for what should we go? Let's go for, reinforce the Imperial Russian Navy. Well, 3 naval slots are a good thing, so let's certainly go for that. Okay, 87,000. Oh, they are even my poor. Oh, they are even the core state. That's nice. So now we get a recruitable population of 2,000 from Tuva. Alright. I can release them as a vassal, but I will do that when I get communist. Check the path here. Okay, we don't have the, like, path. We only have the Imperial path. We don't have the path of the Soviet Union. Sinking of the Titanic. Well, they said the Titanic was unsinkable. Oh, it wasn't, was it? I really want to get rid of the Tsushima humiliation. I really have to get rid of it. But how can I get rid of that? Like, is there a focus to get rid of it? Give me 1 second, please. Alright then, well, establish the 5th Duma. I mean, Purge of the Imperial Guards. That isn't here. Well, we certainly have to have a focus where we get rid of that policy. I'd guess, but I can't see if we have. Defy Germany, Corpus Polski v Rossi. Don't think so, actually. If so, that's really bad. Yeah. So we have a horrible -5 divisions division organization. That's down, and we can't get rid of it. I'm checking every focus. Apparently, there is nothing where we can get rid of it. Nothing. Oh yeah, we have to revoke the Treaty of Portsmouth. We have to occupy Manchuria. And then we can revoke the Treaty of Portsmouth. To do that, I have to reinforce Vladivostok, and then occupy Manchuria. I think I'll do that. I need to get rid of the Treaty of Portsmouth, because, well, let's all face the truth. We are the mighty Russian Empire, blah blah blah. We are really strong now. We have lots of manpower, but our industry is really weak. Plus, we have the Tsushima humiliation, which is giving us a horrible -5 division organization. So that's really bad. That's really bad. -5 organization. Like, let's check. Our current organization is 54, so it's 50. Yeah, high organization. Alright, I see. But still, well, I mean, it doesn't seem to be that much, but I mean, if it comes to a war, it will be quite much, I can tell you that. If war happens, this will be a really huge thing. And this I won't want. This I simply won't want. I think I will occupy Manchuria then. That's the best thing to do. And then I'm going to revoke the Treaty of Portsmouth, because let's face it, the Japanese are weak. They have 20 to 24 civilian factories. They have more military than we do, but civilian-wise, they simply outnumber us. So here, research swap available. What next here? Air superiority. Well, I can't go for that certainly. Industry. Let's go for mining. Fine. I gave up and going for mining now. Well, it's interesting though that the Italians gave up. They really gave up after the first day. Serbia declared war on the Ottoman Empire. A war in the Balkans, taking advantage of the weakness of the Ottoman Empire. Following the Italo-Turkish War, the members of the Balkan League declared war against the Ottoman Empire. Will the Ottoman Empire survive this attack? Well, now we have a war to spectate. That's at least a good thing. European focus or Asian focus? I don't know yet. I'll simply go for the... Let's form the Imperial Russian Air Service. Actually, industrial effort, that's also helpful. Well, I want that slot, but that's too far away. Yeah, let's go for doctrine. Doctrine is always helpful. Let's reorganize the Imperial Russian Army. Yeah, we still have a heavy surplus of infantry equipment as well as of sport equipment, so yeah, we have to wait. We are training lots of new infantry divisions also, that's a good thing. Okay, great. Soon I have 70. Now I can start building my military complex out. That's great. Let's build it out. Build out the Russian military complex. Just gonna build it across the whole country, yeah. In every provinces, so it's dispersed. I mean, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I simply like it. Because I don't know, in case of civil war, who is gonna control what, so that's the problem. We have lots of military factories queued in right now. That's great. Yeah, we only have 13. We have to certainly get more. That's really good. Here, let's see. A military factory requires 4,000 to construct. A civilian requires 7,200. Yeah. Or that's all that. So, what is the German focus doing? They are doing the full rearmament. Full rearmament. Alright. They are going the, I think, Imperial path. Yeah, they reinforced the Kaiser's authority. And Austria-Hungary is limiting trade with Russia. Oh no. Obviously they are. Okay, dreadnoughts here. Let's check our navy here. We have 14 submarines, well, 65 destroyers, 5 light cruisers, 11 battleships and 10 battle cruisers. Our navy is not that weak, although I think the German navy is stronger than ours. But don't forget that we have the French navy and the British navy on our side, even if you leave the faction. While here in the Balkans we can see that our Serbian brothers and sisters are certainly advancing into Ottoman territory here. I can see in the extreme north here of the Ottoman Empire, well, the Ottomans risk encirclement. Never mind, they don't yet. Not yet, but sure they will. One point. The Montenegros captured parts of Albania, and the Greeks, yeah, captured part of Central Epirus. There's no advancement from the Serbian front, but the Bulgarians captured part of East Macedonia, but southern Bulgaria is still uncontested. War tension is only 29%, so well, it's minus 0.5 per month, so like I said, war tension has to be on 50%, otherwise I won't be able to declare war on Ottomans before the war starts. And even if I declare war to the Ottomans, the Germans can instantly invite them to their faction, because they are authoritarian. They will most likely accept the German offer to join the Central Powers, and if that happens, I might be really, well, really, how should I say it in kind words, really well done for, yeah. So I have to be careful with that. Montenegro, okay, let's see the Balkan station, yeah. The Ottomans have how many divisions? Well, that's not really a precise information from our intelligence. 38 to 93, that's really not precise. Yeah, well, anyways, yeah. Let's see. The war raging, costing thousands of lives. We sadly cannot see how many lives the war costs, but certainly a bit. I'm wondering though that Bulgaria is not advancing towards southern Bulgaria. Okay, the reorganization of the Russian Imperial Army is done. Let's go and take the doctrine efforts. That's only 20% though, so that's nice. Because in the base game, you could research it way too quick, in my opinion. But here not. Let's see our political situation in our country. The House of Romanov, which are the Tsarists and authoritarian, have 75% popularity. The Tsarists are fascists, we don't want them, have 5%. The Bolsheviks have 10%. And the Cadets have also 10%, they are democratic. Well, all extraction is what we want next. Well, is Bulgaria even in the war? Yep, they are. They have 1941, 2139, 68, and 2035. So they are outnumbering the Ottoman industry, that's for sure. They are outnumbering the Ottoman industry. By far. Yep, we have 70 civilian factories. And yeah, I have to get really more infantry equipment, therefore getting that filled up is on a high priority. Weapons 1, sport equipment. Yeah, let's get it filled up. This and outlets done, let's go for these. Let's path, alright. That's a long way for that. Oh, Bulgaria captured their first province in southern Bulgaria. To that turbonuclear bomb. Well, that's not yet, not yet. Well, Greece has launched an offensive into central Macedonia, capturing nearly all of the province, as well as advancing into Thrace. So it seems for me that the Ottoman front here in this sector is collapsing. Kind of. Greece is making certainly some good progress here. We certainly don't have a deeper insight, but there shouldn't be a problem here. What's Afghanistan up to actually? They are doing the construction efforts. Persia doing the bomber focus. They're neutral. The British Raj has whom? Earl of Minto. It's the leader of British Raj. Republic of China, well, they aren't that bad, but I don't know if they included the event of the Chinese Civil War. Let's select the technology to research. Rifleman primacy. Let's both rifleman primacy or machine gun team. Or do you want soft attack or hard attack? Here we get organization and speed. Here we get organization and reinforce rate. I'd say let's go for rifleman primacy. Yeah. Though the machine gun is a fearsome weapon in today's world, the rifleman is still more common, more easily trained and equipped, and far more mobile than a man on a Maxim. Focusing on these core troops may give us a positioning and speed advantage in combat, and of course ensure that most common kind of foot soldier is the best kind. Mutually exclusive with machine gun team. I'll go for the rifleman primacy. I think that's the best. Let's get a army regrouping plus 4%. Yeah, I'll go for it. That's helpful always. Come on, I want them to crush the Ottomans so the world tension rises, because it's dropping right now. The world is, well, not really that hot of in place. I'll call it like that, yeah. Not hot of in place. Germany controls some provinces here in Africa though. I think they will lose them. If you watched my Let's Play as the German Empire in the Great War mod, we did capture all of Africa. But I don't think that the AI is so smart, of course, as we are. Therefore, yeah, I think that the African continent is lost for the Germans. But we'll see how the Germans perform. I never played this mod, never, on my own, but I can see that the Germans are, well, they are having lots of troops on our border, which I certainly don't like. But what should we do? Doctrine effort we got, we can go for effort 2. Equipment effort, artillery efforts. Yeah, let's go for that, I guess, for the equipment efforts. Yeah, no harm in doing it. Kazan. We have 18, 11, 70. While Germany has 80 to 101, 68 to 80. Oh my god. Oh my god. The German industry is so strong. So strong. Well, I mean, the German industry was after the American industry the strongest one in the world, and it might even overtake the American one, because the Americans are stuck with the civilian economy, while the Germans have partial mobilization. It's only a bad thing. So we'll have a tart battle. I mean, I leave the Entente in 1913, and then I'll say goodbye to the British. Oh, the Ottoman... Oh, I just saw 2 Ottoman troops getting encircled there. That's certainly bad. But the Ottomans pushed them out and they actually captured Plovdiv, the capital. Well, you never know the outcome of the war, but Serbia is doing some progress in Macedonia. They captured Skopje, the capital of Macedonia, and they pushed partly into Serbia. Airship bomber training. Yeah, I guess I'll go for that. Alright, let's pause our game. We don't want to waste any of our vital industry. That's certainly not the thing we should do. Then, instead, engineering. Yeah, let's go for the continuous track. Fine. Here, free civilian factories. Build more military ones. Of course, military, of course. There, one there, then one here. And one here. Right, fine. Across the whole Russian Empire. One more there. We have 20 military factories. We are closing our gap of infantry equipment. Yeah, alright then. We are in 1912 and we have completed our dreadnought. So since we have built a dreadnought, I'm gonna build... Let's see, what ships do we have? I'm gonna build a battlecruiser next. Yeah, let's build a battlecruiser. I want this. Let's compare its stats actually. Elevation, max speed 25 knots, HP 320. Has a higher HP, a higher speed. Though the firepower is lower, but the fire range is higher of the battlecruiser. It has a lower service, so I'm gonna produce 2 battlecruisers next. 2, not 1, 2 battlecruisers. Alright, what's the difference of a large armored cruiser? Fire range 29, 23, HP is 310. No, actually. 13.5, that is 42. I don't know. Let's produce 1 battle cruiser as well as 1 large armored cruiser. I don't know what is the large armored cruiser actually. Large armored cruiser, I can't see that here. Only see a battle cruiser, I can't see a large armored cruiser. Do you? No. Oh, because I don't know what that is, I'm gonna produce 2 battle cruisers. 2 deploy in St. Petersburg. Alright, well, our navy is getting well filled up with more troops. And here we go. Montenegro captured East Montenegro. There go as well as Montenegro. Well, only 50,000 people live in the tiny province. That's only not much. But the Serbians are pushing and they captured parts of East Thrace. That's bad for the Ottomans here. Constantinople, they have 49 too. Let's see how it develops. The war. The Germans I think have Hejaz as their puppets, do they? Yeah, they have. Hussein bin Ali is the leader of Hejaz. The British have troops in Alexandria, yeah, we can see them because they are in our faction. Well, that's here. Come on, let's end the war so I can see. So the war tension will go up. But the question is, when will the war end in the Balkans? The Balkan is a true powder keg. The Balkans will be also responsible for the First World War, which most of you surely know. Like, Serbia was the cause of the assassination of the, I think, Austrian Archduke was the reason for the First World War. Of course, Germany, like Austria, Hungary, didn't want to do war actually. Yeah, Austria, Hungary didn't want to do war, but Germany, well, urged them to do war, and then of course they accept Germany's offer to, well, do war. They are urged to do war, therefore the First World War happened and costed 20 million soldiers, people in total, their life. Let's see how many soldiers it will cost here their life. we cannot count in civilian casualties because that's not being counted in this game. Yeah. Although here, the Balkan War, it would be funny if the Ottomans would win it. But I don't think they will. The Balkans will be truly reshaped like never before. The Ottoman Empire, existing from around 1300, is has turned to the dead, to the ill, to the sick man on the Bosphorus. Yeah, that's all the Ottomans. So sad it is maybe. The Ottomans were once the strongest empire in the world, or the strongest European empire for sure. Now they are the ill, sick man on the Bosphorus. Yeah, trench warfare focus, I guess. Go for it. The war is not turning to an end. So I don't know if that's a good thing for the Ottomans or a bad thing. Serbia didn't achieve their goal of fully capturing Macedonia yet. I don't know, there isn't really much fighting going on the Bulgarian front somehow. They have partial mobilization and only limited conscription. It's not that much. But well, what should we say? Yeah, we have 24 military, and I don't know why, but we got apparently one more civilian factory. I don't know why, I surely wasn't constructing any, but alright. If we got it, we got it. No harm in it, I'd say. We have a surplus of 3 aluminum, the rest is alright. Enough. Alright then, so we have now 25 factories. We have a, look to that, we have a surplus of infantry equipment. How can that be? Yeah, all of these troops simply need sport equipment, which I don't have, so yeah. Sturkovia Divizia. I'm gonna add them more infantry. Defensive breakthrough, yeah, soft attack is only 2. So infantry are simply good at defending but really bad at attacking. And because we wanna be kind of defensive, let's add them 3 more lines of infantry. So once Sturkovia Divizia has 9,800 soldiers then, plus 3,000 more, which yeah, results in a minus of 36,000 infantry equipment. I also wanna add them artilleries, but later, because I certainly have not enough artilleries. I have 3.6 thousand in surplus, but that's not enough. Okay, the Serbians also captured Albania, that's interesting. Perhaps the Montenegros captured it, but then they gave it back to the Serbians. Ottomans, you wanna wipe peace out or not? That's the question. We got oil extraction. Next, what do we... let's go for, yeah, improved oil drilling. And actually I will take a cut here, so thank you all for watching me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. Also feel free to drop down a comment of any kinds. I'm Sacred and I'm out. Have a awesome day to you all.